Hi everyone, it's AJ, your host for What the Buddhism. Here's a sixth reason Buddha was the coolest human being ever. First, his radical devotion and discipline. Siddhartha Gautama was the crown prince of a Shaka kingdom born into royal luxury ancient India 2500 years ago. At 29, he walked away from generational wealth, power, privilege, and comfort. Not for fame, but to understand human suffering, and he renounced it all overnight. He wasn't halfway in, he was all in. Would you give up $1 billion trust fund and palace to live in a forest to figure out life's truth? He did. No sponsor, just his own dedication. Number two, unshakable mental focus. He later spent 6 years in forest and cremation grounds with severe ascetic practices, almost dying of starvation, before realizing extreme self-denial wasn't the path either. He trained relentlessly for 6 years in the jungle, practicing harsh asceticism and deep meditation, endured heat, hunger, bug bites, and physical pain to reach inner clarity. Not once did he quit. He trained his attention so deeply that he saw how suffering arises moment by moment. He didn't react, he observed, understood, and transcended. The night before his enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, Mara, a symbolic figure of inner and outer distractions, sent every temptation and fear his way. Seductive figures, storms, attacks, doubt. Siddhartha didn't fight. He didn't run. He just sat, breathed, and witnessed until dawn broke and he attained enlightenment. This moment is the very birth of the term Buddha, the awakened one. In a world of 5-second attention spans, Buddha was the king of mindfulness before it had a name. Most of us can't even sit for 10 minutes without checking our phone. Buddha faced the full force of his mind. He didn't flinch. Eventually, he found a middle way, not too much pleasure, not too much pain, just a balanced, neutral way. He didn't escape problems by scrolling or numbing out. He faced them head on and found peace through inner stillness. Number three, unshakable inner peace, even in the chaos. People debated him, insulted him, tried to test him, and even tried to kill him. But he stayed calm and rooted, showed the deepest compassion. Once, a man insulted the Buddha viciously in public. The Buddha calmly asked, "If you offer a gift to someone and they do not accept it, to whom does that gift belong?" The man replied, "To the one who offered it." Buddha smiled and said, "Then I do not accept your insults." No external chaos could move him. He didn't suppress emotions, he just understood them so well they lost power. You can't cancel a man who's already let go of ego. 4. Infinite compassion without attachment. His love wasn't clingy or transactional. His ideas spread not because of marketing, just because they actually worked. Healing minds, hearts, and societies. He saw all beings as worthy of liberation, even his enemies. He taught with gentleness, forgave without hesitation, and met pain with wisdom. He trained anyone willing to learn, regardless status or gender. He traveled across ancient India on foot, teaching kings, farmers, beggars, and monks equally. No phone, no email list, yet his teachings spread across Asia, the world, and now TikTok. Today, over 500 million people practice Buddhism. That's about 7 to 8% of the global population, making it one of the most influential spiritual movements ever. Beyond formal Buddhists, hundreds of millions more engaged with Buddhist-inspired practices like mindfulness and meditation, compassion-based therapies, yoga, breathwork, non-duality teachings. Reason 5. Clarity of purpose and vision. He had one goal: liberate beings from suffering. He built a global movement without branding himself. His clarity cut through directions. The Buddha condensed his entire insight into Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, forming the foundation of a complete spiritual and psychological system. His teachings laid the groundwork for Zen in Japan, or Sun in South Korea, Vipassana in Southeast Asia, Tibetan Tantra in the Himalayas, and now mindfulness therapy models, neuroscience backed meditation. That's not just a spiritual influence, that's a multi thousand year design thinking. He built a framework for liberation that crossed cultures, languages, and countries. Imagine being so clear in your mission that no trend, hate comment, or shiny opportunity can shake you. Reason 6, finally, humble wisdom and ethical simplicity. He never claimed divine status, never pretended to be perfect. He explicitly said he was not a god, not a savior, just a man who woke up. When people ask deep metaphysical questions like what is the soul or does the world have a beginning, he simply often stayed noble silent, teaching that speculation doesn't end suffering, only direct awareness does. He didn't give a shit. He said, I'm awake. You can be too. His power came from honesty, not hype. He encouraged critical thinking, not blind faith. A teacher who tells you, don't follow me, understand yourself. That's a leadership without ego. He lived his values to the end. He wore only one robe, kasaya, stitched from discarded clothes, and carried a one bowl for food. He ate only one meal a day, collected from whatever villagers offered, and slept under trees or in simple huts. No possession, no throne, no temple. Even after becoming revered by kings and monks, he rejected luxury. When King Bimbisara and others tried to offer him palaces or fine robes, he gently declined or redirected those offerings to the community or the Sangha. In a world obsessed with flex culture, spiritual influencers, and aesthetic Zen branding, Buddha stayed real, simple, and unattached. No performance, no ego, just a quiet, honest life fully aligned with his message. The coolest human being ever.